call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see.
Tea time is coming.
Yes, we're gonna do all the nitty gritty stuff now.
That was like the vanilla ice cream of it.
Yeah. All right, hopefully that's gonna keep my phone cool enough. I wonder if I took it out of the case, if it would work better. It wouldn't overheat. Do you reckon that? Let me try. Alright, that might work better. She wants some Onyx.
Kira, there is more.
Oh, there's lots more. There's so much more. I don't even know where I'm trying to remember things. Oh, that's one before we forget. The knife. The knife through the hand.
Everyone wants to know about the knife. Okay. Yes. And there's a lot of tea for that one. So the knife incident happened on May 4th, May 5th. So basically what happened is I believe Crystal, at that time they had just gotten back from their honeymoon in, I think it was like what, the Bahamas. She was like done. Like she was like ready. She's like, I want to start filing for divorce. This. Yada, yada, yada. Because he literally, her mom can't be around him. I can't be around him. Like he is an alcoholic and just drinks and is just a straight problem. So they get back and we're hanging out to go to like, it's like the week before Archie's birthday, and I'd always come over, go swimming, be with the kids and stuff like that. And we had gotten like really drunk one night, and in that drunken state, mind you, the kids are there. The kids are there that weekend. And they had been drinking, and Chris was like, you're gonna sleep over, and I was like, yeah, that's fine, because like I had been drinking, but even though I lived like a mile down the road from her. May 5th is Archie's birthday, and so they have like these Delta 8 gummies, like edible gummies, like, so it's not like THC or anything, but it gives you like kind of like the fat. And her sofa, I love her sofa. It makes you pass out, like you die in the sofa. And she was like, we all were hungry, and she was like ordering food. So she's on Christian's phone ordering food, and I'm like in and out, like sleeping. Like I'm like, when is the food gonna get here? And then probably like about, and on her, I noticed that she was going on his Instagram messages, things like that. And then I ended up falling asleep. And then 30 minutes later, I wake up, like tapping on my arm, and she's just sitting there, and she's like crying. And I'm like, she's like, I need you right now. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, is everything okay? And I'm like trying to like come to, like, what? And she's like, she's like, Christian, are you going to tell her? And I'm like, tell me what? Like, what do I need to know? Like, is everything okay? And then she comes out, and Christian had been cheating on Crystal and going and getting happy ending massages. You go to like a massage parlor, like an Asian massage parlor, and you pay to get fucking jerked off and finish. And it was found out that Christian basically had done that. He did that Friday.
It's buffering again. Why?
So Friday he had come home and was like going off on all the kids and everything, and apparently he was getting his like, he got a really bad hand massage from his happy ending massage and took it out on the kids. And then
Oh, these are your followers popping up. I'm like, who are these people? I just realized. I was like, I don't remember seeing that person.
and then so there was that, and then he, I guess, had been cheating on her too, like from like months prior. The exact date was like not really like like he didn't tell like exact dates on like when he did it, but it's been like happening for months. And then he had done it the day before he went on his honeymoon with Crystal. So there was like a whole fight, whole everything. And me being someone like where my ex has cheated on me, like I could understand her up and down. Like I was like, you have to prepare. Her energy is gonna be, I hate you, I love you, go die, all of this stuff. And then he was like trying to kick me out because I laughed at him because I was like, you make fun of my ex-fiance for cheating on me with a prostitute, and you literally are paying women to go like, and not just once, like probably more than a handful of times you're paying women to literally jerk you off while you have your wife at home that wears sexy outfits for you every night because you are a sex addict. And then so like the next day I had come over because she was like, his dad's coming here, I don't want to play face, like we have to play family, like this and this. And I'm like, okay, like that's fine, like I'll be there. Everything was fine that day. And then it was Sunday. Sunday I came back over. She was like, I want to go sober today, like I don't want to drink today. So she has her own money now. Why is she saying? Well, we're getting to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So basically, I get there and we're like having fun. We did some TikToks, and Crystal and I like drink a lot of wine and everything. And then I was like about to go. Does she even want to do, or is it something he makes? No, she wants to do it. She wants to do it. And I was like about to go, and then she comes to me and she's like, let's have a threesome. Mind you, they had a threesome before this with a girl named Corey, to where Crystal punched the girl in the face because she caught she caught Corey and Christian making out on their dining. It's like the center thing in their kitchen, like, so yeah. And then found them in like his office area, and so she punched her, kicked her out, and then called her to come back, had sex with her, and then kicked her out again. And I don't think that they're friends anymore at all.
I wonder why.
Yeah. And so then
punches you in the face, you really go back to have.
Well, I was dumb because I allowed Crystal to slap me in the face.
Oh, that's
and well, it was like, so that night, that Sunday night, everyone was drinking, and I was like about to go, and she was like peer pressuring me. She was like, do this for me, like just do this for me, I need you to do this for me, like help me, like do this for me. And she was basically asking me to be in a threesome with her and Christian. So yes, for everyone, there was an event to where there was an incident. It was an incident where I was very, very uncomfortable. I was not happy. I was not okay with it. I don't find Christian attractive at all. Christian had to pry my legs open because I just didn't want to do anything. And I never let him penetrate me, nothing, because Crystal, like, in a weird way, then she was like laying on the side, and like she was just like glaring, and it was just so uncomfortable, and I was like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
And and that's why he doesn't like you. And so then I ended up leaving, and then I came over like the next day because I'll admit they wanted like a throuple relationship, and I was like, whatever, like it was always something that was like in the talks, but like never something, because no. And then Christian had gone to like a work event for like Topgolf or something. And so that night I'm with Crystal because we're talking, and it's like, okay, we're gonna start decorating and getting ready for Archie's like birthday party the next day. And Christian comes back because they want, this is some Jerry Springer shit, yeah. They wanted to do like a reattempt at a threesome, like a better one, and I was just like, no. And Crystal and I like, oh, and in this, he also fed me a Viagra because apparently females take Viagra. It's like,
Yeah, I didn't know
it
that.
does stuff. So it makes females horny if a female
And the
takes
birth
Viagra.
control. Don't forget the birth control pills.
No, Genevieve, Crystal and I never did any content on OnlyFans, only just photos and stuff. I wonder why she'd want you to join. So basically she states that she has an attraction to females and that like she would date a female. And then I think it was like because she always kept saying, she's like, I trust you. Mind you, this was after finding out it, like after he cheated and everything like that. And she like broke down like the next night for the hand incident, and was just like, I just was doing this because like I just feel like this is what I have to do to make him happy. And it was like kind of weird, like, so you're putting me in a situation and it's uncomfortable and I not okay. So then we go, like, we're sitting there, she and I had some wine, and then Christian was like feeding us again Rumplemans. And then Crystal snapped. When I say snapped, it was like Jackal and Mr. Hyde. And she was like crying. And for me, like, I lost one of my best friends to suicide. And Crystal, and mind you, again, her children are here in the house. And they're screaming, there's fighting, there's crying, and then he's trying to kick me out and is like, this only happens when you're here. And I'm like, I told you it comes in waves. And then he was talking about how he wanted, like, he's had a gun held up to his head and he's wanted to commit suicide. And Crystal was trying to find a razor, and she was like on the garage floor crying, hysterical, like it was insane. And then we went into the living room, and in the living room she went into like screaming at him, and she's like, you're secluding me from all my friends, like I just have no one now because of you. And finally I'm like thinking, okay, she's clicking, she's getting the reality, like she needs out of this. And then she goes into the bathroom, breaks out one of the drawers, and then comes out and is like, no one's here for me, no one's this, like everyone's that. And then I had chimed in and I'm like, Crystal, like I'm here, like I am here for you, like I've always been here for you, I've forgiven you for so much, like you worked with my ex-fiance, you slept with the daughter, like my daughter's father, like, and I've forgiven you. And she comes up into my face and goes, well, he was only with you because I didn't want him. And he like basically was just going in on me and had said that she could fuck him again right now if she wanted to, and like admitted to having sex with him, and then slapped me in the face. And then that was what I left. I was like, hands up, I'm like crying, and I'm like, this was done. Like I was done. Out to the page asking for advice. Really sad. She's just asking for advice. Advice for what? The fact that she slaps people in the face and fucks their fucking exes?
Yeah. I think I told you about that. She had messaged me. This was after the Ivy thing. So she asked me if Ivy had ever said anything about her, and I thought that's kind of weird. And I think that's probably paranoia because she's talked so much shit on Ivy. But after that, she like sent me some big long message and was like, I just wanted advice, asking whether, like with OnlyFans and like how if she's thinking about getting away from it and all this stuff, which just seemed like bullshit because she was back on top of it.
Yeah, no. So she same girl at a 541 here. She wanted to quit OnlyFans and ask how. Oh, now I hate Matt, but someone needs to send him. I wouldn't hate Matt. Matt is actually co-parenting very nicely. Christian, I feel like, has done far more shit than actually Matt has. Like Matt, you know, like when you think about it. But so I ended up taking.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Sorry, it was just pause. That's all. I didn't know if it was going through for everyone.
You're good. Are you ready?
Is it pausing for anyone else? Yep, go.
No, I'm
Go. Yeah.
So basically, what ended up happening, I get calls from Christian. I'm getting text, come back, be here. And I'm like, no, I'm done. Like, I'm done. Like, I'm not coming back. And then it was, there's blood everywhere. And I was like, I'm not coming back. Like, I wasn't, you know, like, I was done at that point. And then I get a call and I'm hearing Crystal crying in the background. I hear Christian crying. And I was like, okay, like, I have to, like, maybe something happened. I get there and I walk in and Christian's just frantically walking back and forth. And Crystal looks at me and, like, I don't want to cry. I don't feel like I have tears to cry, but, like, it's emotional. She comes up to me, like, puppy dog eyes and everything. And her, like, hands wrapped in a towel. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, let me see. And her whole hand is just, like, I can see bone. And I'm just, like, and then there's blood everywhere, like, on the floor and everything. And then she's just like, I'm so sorry. I fucked up my life. Like, CPS is going to call, like, this and that. And I'm like, and I'm like, you need to go to the hospital, like, right now. Like, and honestly, an ambulance needed to have been called. But Christian, being Christian, was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want a scene. And
That's repulsive.
And so he takes her to this one hospital, and they have to, like, they couldn't do anything, like, at Advent Health. Like, they had to go all the way down to his blood on the, like, the counter table everywhere. And Braden comes out, and he's like, where's Mom? Is everything okay? He heard every single thing that happened in that house and is seeing me cleaning up his mom's blood on the floor. And then I go to the hospital the next day. Yeah, they were present. They were in the bedrooms. It was like sleeping, but they could hear everything because Lainey heard everything too. And so basically, I get to the hospital. I'm at that house, and I'm told, basically, I was to get the kids ready for school and then take Archie to school. And then Christian came back, and he's like, I'm just gonna send the kids off, take Archie, and then I'm gonna go back to Crystal. And I was like, okay, like, I'll go home and sleep for a little bit, but let me know, and I'll go, like, down and be with Crystal. And I wake up at 11. I couldn't sleep, and I'll have to find those text messages because, mind you, she did me so dirty that night, and I was there and cleaning stuff up, and so honestly, I hurt, like,
oh, it's just cutting out again.
So hurt beyond belief. And she basically, like, had told me that, like, basically I was the problem yet again. Like, I'm making it about me. She's sitting in a hospital bed needing to get emergency surgery, and she just can't deal with this. But no, so basically what happened with the hand incident, which a lot of us, I will tell you what I've been told. Do I believe it? No. So what she's told the internet is that she has told the internet she was opening a box for Archie for his birthday, and it hit the scooter, and, like, the knife hit the metal scooter, and it went down. what really happened is she took a foot picture, and I'm sure, I don't know if some of you follow her like mom page. She took a picture down that had Christian and her in it and baby Archie, and she put it on like the granite table and took a knife, slapped it like down. But I guess like the knife hit the granite and then the knife went down. Still doesn't make sense because like once it hits it, like the knife has like a, like a stopper. So it's like you're not, like it's not just a straight, A lot of people though, from even what I believe is I feel like something else really happened. A lot of, even my friend who's a cop who I showed the picture to was like, that looks like a defense wound, like where a knife was coming at her and she grabbed it and stopped. She looked like a rape victim at the hospital when I was there. There was tons of bruises, all like bruises that weren't on her prior. And they were like just bruises like on her arms, like on her legs, like, and I was like, if a police officer was here, it literally would look like you were like fending off an attacker. And so that's what happened. And then when I got to the hospital, Christian wasn't there. Well, he was there for 30 minutes, and he then went to go take Archie. Like, he doesn't even focus on so what he thinks he does as a parent is he'll take pictures of like Archie or the kids and sends them to Crystal rather than actually present with the kids and doing things when he gets back. Like, he wants to show Crystal everything that's happening on the hour, on the second, on anything, rather than being present. And so he left, didn't tell me that he was gonna be like leaving the hospital, but when I got to the hospital, it was, we're not talking about last night, we're not making it a big thing, like we never want to talk about it again. So basically he was using that as a scapegoat to never talk about like the cheating that he was doing or anything like that. And so, Crystal apologizes to me for the things that she says, but that's a blatant lie. So how I would view this question right here, Crystal doesn't, like, as a woman, if you're not wanting to have sex, you're not wanting to have sex. So to basically guilt her and force her and be like, I want you to wear this tonight or that tonight, that is a form of rape, of making her do something that she does not want to do. Crystal's body is absolutely not hers at all. Like, even with this BBL, she's not allowed to wear certain outfits out. She doesn't go to the gym, because also Crystal was caught cheating. And we never touched base on the cocaine thing. We'll get to that one. And then, so it was like not to be talked about, not to be told, like nothing. That incident of that night was not meant to be happening or anything. And in that moment, Crystal and I, she says it's not for him. She says it's for her, but it's definitely for him. We decided to go sober, and then that's when I had posted I was not going to touch base on anything that happened between her and I was like, oh, I want something to like kind of like cover this up, because for me, I'm going to remain sober. And she basically was like, oh, like, I don't think I'm not going to drink again, like if it's a special occasion, this and that, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you do understand that like, a lot of people do take sobriety like big. Like, it's not just something that like don't boost and be like and post like, I'm proud, I'm 29 days sober, and like, because knowing her, she was gonna, it's something that she's gonna continue to lie about. Like, she's not gonna post like, oh, I'm doing a champagne toast, she's just not gonna post it. She'll post like, oh, I'm this many days, like to keep that piece sober. So it's just, but yeah, it was told not to talk about, nothing like that. And that's when I came back. This can get for not just her, but the kids. I honestly don't really think she cares about the kids. She sits there and says that she wants what's best and absolutely best for her children. But for me, when I moved over here, because she did help me get into the place that I'm in, and she only paid my rent maybe 2 months because I was doing nothing, and then I got my great job. I was in an abusive marriage, and the moment he laid hands on me and physically assaulted me in front of my kids, I called the cops, I got him arrested, I got my restraining order, and I left. So, um, if she, am I afraid? I think that's a yes. I'm absolutely terrified. But not, I guess, like, not really terrified, because my thing is like, what's the worst thing that she could absolutely do to me? Like, she's already fucked my baby daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Everything that
going
she's
through a
done.
custody battle with that. What is she gonna reach out to my ex-boyfriends and things? Like, is she? I mean, she already reached out to one of my friends who I don't even know if we're friends anymore, and sent like a shit fucking remark, like, I'm not the enemy, watch your back. Like, but here's the thing: when we were going to Texas for her BBL, she was text messaging and Instagram messaging her ex dude or whatever named Ryan, who's like, he's like a travel guy who lives in Texas but is getting an RV and travels around like the United States. So she was trying to have him come out to Houston for like the 2 days prior before her surgery to see him, to see if there was a connection, because like she had every intention of leaving him, of leaving Christian.
She did tell me about that guy a few times, and I don't know what the deal was there, but I feel like if he was to have her, she would have stayed with him, it seems. I don't know, maybe he doesn't have the lifestyle that she wants, but
I don't know, like, she like, and like, that's the thing too, it's like they got their new house because that's the thing, is I don't know why she ended up staying like in Texas too. Like, we got into a huge, she was trying to find we got into a huge fight in Texas because while we were there, a lot of like the individuals that were giving her massages and stuff were like, oh, when are you getting a BBL? When are you getting work done? And I'm like, Crystal was just constantly like throwing me like under the bus, and like had mentioned like, because like, yeah, like she had told me, hey, but I think she's so far gone that would do nothing. But I had gotten advice from her, and she was like, if you buy some followers, that will help you get like kind of like to build your like OnlyFans, like things like that. And I was like, okay. And then like she was like bashing me to the girl that she was getting massages from, and was like, oh, well, like, and it wasn't even like something like where it was like, oh, she was just like, oh, I don't know how to like promote myself to get followings. Oh, well, Candice buys followers, like just always throwing me under the bus. And I looked at her and I was like, you buy likes and boost your post, and you bought half of your followers. Like, what?
yeah, exactly. She's always done that too. And she used to make fun about Holly doing that, because when her and Christian were first together, she was saying how Christian used to get so pissed because like, Holly would go through and she'd like follow all these people and unfollow them, and follow all these people and unfollow it. And apparently that's how she spent days and days and days, was like following these people on the follow for follow pages. And it's like, girl, you did the same thing. Like, you look at any of the Instamums accounts, a lot of them are bought followers because they need to get a certain amount to be able to get the interactions to then grow organically. Otherwise it just takes forever, you know.
Yeah, no, it's just a whatever thing.
We're gonna
But
start calling her Cocaine Crystal now instead of Crusty Crystal.
no, David, I've not gone to bed. Do you think part of her not wanting to leave is because she's still in competition with Matt?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so that is a big thing. That is why they're not leaving. So that's also one of the reasons why they moved. She they had made a parenting plan for the kids to be like over on that end, and then they would figure out moving. They were constantly talking shit about how did Matt and Holly afford a $1 million house and this and that. But mind you, their house has enough bedrooms that all their kids have their own rooms. Like, it's great. Like, okay, Crystal and Christian went to a house that isn't even really an upgrade from their house. Like, they've spent $715,000 on this house. It doesn't have a pool. It has like a nice backyard, but you're gonna have to put a pool in. But with, I think, that ground, it's gonna be like probably 20 to 30 grand to get a pool in there. And so they've lost the kids' pool. The kids are still sharing bedrooms. And like, basically, it was just a selfish buy because Crystal wanted the tub that was in the main bathroom.
That's so weird. And it's crazy too because like she's upgraded to be in competition with Holly. She's bought a $700,000 house. They're sitting there with $1 million house anyway. And they don't have any more bedrooms. And they're like, what is exciting about a backyard? Like, I would not give two fucks.
And then they put Archie in the same school. Mind you, that's the same school Braden, Lainey, and Trayson went to. But Madison goes to there, Holly's daughter. And they went and put their kid Archie in there. And then that was my thing. It was like, how is my image of my tattoos a problem when, like, the school knows? Because here's the plot twist. The girls that used to live in the unit behind me, her sister, Paige, is actually like was like a teacher or like a caretaker at that school. And they all knew that Crystal and Holly and them did OnlyFans. And actually, Christian was like DMing that girl on Instagram because they followed each other.
Oh, that was the other thing we didn't talk about. The whole thing with the girl from the gym.
Oh, the guy from the gym?
No, the girl from the gym that she had that big fight with and she tried to get her fired. Were you friends at that point? Can't remember her name was. She had brown hair. And apparently Crystal went around there for like a PT session. And she was like, you know, making excuses or whatever. And the girl was like, well, the girl said, what do you want to get out of it? Like with the gym and stuff. And it was so long ago now.
Oh yeah, so it was at like Amped Fitness. So she was doing like an evaluation on her body, to see like what she needed, like really like what do you want out of this, and then like body
do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain muscle? Do you want to
and like the girl
maintain?
And like at anyone's weight, like I think at like I weigh like 140 or something, and I'm 5'3", so that would make it to be, like I would be kind of considered obese. And so Crystal took that like to whole fucking thing, and then like wanted everyone to attack, and then she ended up getting a 1-year membership and like went for a few months. Like didn't tell anyone that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then
she really went for that girl and wanted her to be fired. No, the guy apologized and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like talking about how it doesn't want them all looking at her a certain way. Like, Crystal, you're walking in there with J-cup fake boobs. They're going to be looking at you a certain way.
The thing is, too, and like, you know what's funny is like when we were in Houston, because like we got into a fight the last night. So basically, like, what ended up happening is I had a boyfriend, and I had found out that he was cheating on me, like, and I ended up finding out I was pregnant, everything like that, and I was dealing with that, and I handled the situation, and my friend found, like, relapsed with her sobriety, and Crystal made it all about her, because I was like, if I need to go to New Jersey, I'm going to New Jersey so I can be with my friend. And it was like, I wouldn't have booked this. Like, I need you. Like, of course you're doing this. And the last day we were in Texas, she was like, your energy's off. Mind you, I'm like packing her stuff, my stuff, everything. We have to be out of the hotel by 11. She's just going off on me, and I snapped there, and I was like, you are fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah,
staying with me. Like, she sat there the whole time and was like trying to boost Christian up to like her, like to everybody. And I was like, and then she got mad at me. She's like, you're getting pissy at me about me me having sex with my husband. I was like, your surgeon, your own surgeon sat there and told you you are not allowed to have sex for 6 weeks after a BBL. And she's like, well, it's my vagina. If I want to do it, I'll do it. But then don't complain when your results are sucky.
Exactly.
Like, and then everything was a ghetto booty, a ghetto booty. Like, and I'm like, the reality is I don't, us white girls, we're not supposed to have big pumpy booties like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, stop. And so we got into like a huge fight there. Because I just like snapped. Like, she's like, oh, when you talk to your ex, you just get in a mood. And it's like, yeah, like I'm handling and dealing with something, and you're like, it's like, I can't be, I'm not, like, apparently I forgot that it's Crystal's world and we're all fucking living in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the whole cocaine thing, though, because we'll get there, anybody can have a big booty no matter. Okay, yes, you can have a big booty. And her butt was nice, like, with the working out, but, like, I wish you could
I know
see,
what
like,
you're saying. Like, they're putting... I know what you're saying. Like, yeah, everyone can have a big booty, but there is, like, when you're not supposed to have... You're just not built for that thing. Like, I would look... If I went and got a BBL, I'd look like a fucking idiot because it just wouldn't suit my body now.
yeah.
If I was bigger and I got it, then maybe it would. But, you know, you see Juliana and she's got these little fucking knit needle legs, and then this big booty that like, just doesn't suit the thigh. And I just think, when you're fucking 60, you're gonna look like a clown, you know? It's true.
Yeah.
Like, there's only some people are able to actually pull off certain butts. And the thing is, like, you know, you go to the gym, you're creating a butt out of muscle like it should be. But when you're just getting fat and you're inserting fat, it just looks so silly.
Yeah. And, like, that was the thing. It was like, and then she tried going on about how Dr. Jung was like, you know, like, she's one of Dr. Jung's, like, VIP patients, that she didn't have to pay for her Saturday surgery. And, you know, even it was funny because even her, like, the massage women were like, no, like, it's because he didn't work on Monday because it was July 4th. So he's making it a 5-day work week. Had you come in at, like, then it would be, you know, like, then you would have paid.
And she's also, this is how fucking dodgy she is with her taxes. She is using her, so everything she buys, including her BBL, she's writing off on taxes.
Yeah.
That is fucking insane. So all her clothes, her makeup, it just does not work like that. You know, that is like me working an office job and, you know, it being a requirement that I have my nails done and my hair brushed and stuff. That does not mean I can go and claim back my shampoo and my conditioner and my nails and my manicures and stuff. That is not how that works. Even if it's a requirement for your job and you need it for your job, unless it's actually on that schedule, you, like, you know, if you're a tradie, you need a boots, or there's a uniform. But, you know, you go to work every day, and if you don't wear a uniform and you're just wearing normal clothes, you cannot claim those clothes back. Unless they're under a uniform, you can't claim them back. So to think you can claim a BBL back is beyond ridiculous.
Exactly.
So, like, and they're saying, like, she's not paying any tax, but she's getting taxes back. Like, how does that work?
But, like, also in response to, like, the Shake Your Tail fan and, like, the Jade and Nicole, like, that's the thing, like, stop calling it, like, a ghetto booty. Like, it's like what I said earlier, if you want to, like, when you go to a hair salon and you want your hair done a certain way, you're like, hey, I would like it like to look like this. But like, even to Dr. Jung, her first comment was like, I really don't want like one of those ghetto booties. Like, I just don't like that. And it's just like what, like,
Yeah,
one,
gross.
like, even with like a BBL, I feel like BBLs originated over in like Brazil and like, you know, like the Latino communities, because like they have really nice butts.
Yeah, yeah.
But no,
The
it's
thing is, if
very.
you look at a Latino, like my best friend growing up, believe it or not, her name was actually Juliana with a J, not Yuli. But she was like half Spanish, like she was half Italian and then she was quarter Spanish or something. And she had that butt, but she also had the hips to go with it and the thighs, so it just didn't look silly, you know. And I think a lot of them, they put some in their thighs, but it just doesn't match the rest of the body. And because she does have, like, she's got these massive swinging titties that hang down to her belly button, so then she doesn't have anything splitting her up, so she's just like a little square. And she's putting up, like, you know, she put the pictures up, and at first I was like, oh yeah, now it looks good, but you know it's crystal, it's angles. And then you see her in a video and you're like, okay, now she's just made herself look plump, because that's what she's like. Even though they have chiseled that out, at the end of the day, those results never maintain on the belly. You have to be super careful with what you eat and stuff to maintain the abs. So I don't know how she's going to go with the butt. Like,
The friend, she's like, you need to get to know about the cocaine thing.
oh yes,
Okay,
we definitely
we'll
need to go.
get there. Okay, so back in January, I
Yes,
someone's comment made me laugh. The admin's comment made me laugh. Like,
it's so true though. That's what I was saying yes to. I'm like,
oh my God, Geneva, she sat there and like she was making fun of my like weight, like, because she was like doing her like measurements and stuff, and she's like, oh, I'm a 24. And I'm like, weird, because like I'm a 25 and like we wear the same size like jeans. Just like to make everything feel bad. And then I had put like the fake like gelatin boobies in my boobs at the like surgeon, because I was like, maybe I want a boob job. And the first things out of her mouth were, yeah, I don't think you'll like them because you're gonna look fat.
oh, how fucking rude.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Why would you look fat? I don't understand where that comes from. She's quite, like, you know, I think she's short. Like, how tall is she? Like 5'1"?
5'3".
She is 5'3"?
Yeah.
Really?
Um,
It must be
Jaden,
her shape, because I would be 5'3" as well, and I weigh about 60 kilos, which I think is like roughly 130 something over there. And I don't understand, like, with hers, like, I mean, she used to show things of her being like 128 or something. And I look at it and I just think, why does she look so big in the things? Like, she seems to be wider or something. And I think it might just because the boobs hang so low,
she
it
does
takes
like
out
her
that
boobs.
tapering.
So to answer Jaden, because she made a comment, she was like, not like a mean comment, but she was like, I think, surprisingly, I feel like her
Yeah.
BBL matches her thighs. She edits her photos, so even the photos that you see where she's like doing her progression photos, that's completely edited. Because
Yeah.
like one of her like one side, it's kind of like going flat, like the hip dips are starting to show again, so she like is filling it out anymore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I thought it was. I weigh 155 and weight has nothing to do with looking good. No, I agree with that too. Like, I think I'm at my best weight for me is like 70 kilos, which would probably be about 150 or something. But I wasn't even that much bigger than what I was. I just had a lot more muscle, and I
Yeah.
think that's the thing. Like,
Liz is ready for the cocaine comment. Okay, Liz, this is for you. So back in January, Crystal, of It's Always Me the Problem and Not Her, and So basically what happened, we had gone out to Ruth Chris for dinner. It was me, her, and Christian. And I was like starting to work. I had like worked only a week with her. That's it. And we went out, had dinner. Everyone was like feeling good, and it was like, okay, where are we going to next? We had barely ate, so like Crystal and I were kind of feeling, and like they bring rumplements to everything in a sippy cup. And so then we went to Graffiti Junction up in Lake Mary, and then from there we went downtown to downtown Orlando. At that time, I was like wearing this like really cute shirt that like, cause I don't have boobies. I'll show. I'm not showing my boobies, but it would like tie like in the middle, and you could see my tattoos and everything like that. And then Crystal was like in a onesie and a jean jacket, and she wasn't really liking her shirt. So we went to the other bar, and we had changed shirts because I will always make Crystal happy. And so then we went to Hooch, which is like a bar across the street, and there was a bartender. Her name is Leia, and she is friends with one of my ex-friends, Michaela. And Crystal kind of was like trying to talk shit about Michaela to Leia, because like she was like, oh, we should do a collab, yada yada yada, whatever, because Crystal gets uppity when she's drunk. And so Leia was like, oh, like, you don't look comfortable in what you're wearing, Candice. And I was like, do you think I can change into your shirt? Because there's like a cuter, like, haltered, like, she's like, yeah, like, we can change. And Leia has her boobs done, so it would have fit better on her. So we go into the bathroom, and we're changing and everything. And Leia does do extracurricular, and then she had offered. So at that time, she had offered, mind you, I was not gonna do it because I don't do that. There's like a knock, it's onto the bathroom door, and it gets open, and Leia even offered Crystal and was like, hey, do you want any? And she was like, no. So we all leave, and when we go out to like the bar to do like a shot, Crystal mentions to Christian, yeah, Candice was in the bathroom and she got offered cocaine. And so then this makes me look like a bad light. And so Christian's like, what? Cocaine? And then Crystal gave him the go-ahead and was like, yeah, go ahead and go do cocaine. So he went and like Leia had given him like the baggie of cocaine, and he did it all. Like, he did all of it. And when I say like a baggie, I wish I had like I have my pimple things. I guess like the baggie was like this size, and like it was probably like that much filled, and he did it. He did all of it. And then Crystal's phone had died. Crystal was nowhere to be seen. She went looking, I guess, for him in the bathroom. He wasn't in the bathroom. I was looking for Crystal. Christian was at the ATM getting money out to give to Leia. It was like a whole thing. And then like we end up finding Crystal. Crystal starts screaming at me in my face, like calling me a cunt, a bitch, that I'm a problem, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I start crying. Like, I just shut down. And I was like, okay, like I'm done. Like, this friendship is done. Like, I'm so tired of like just being treated this way by you. And so I go into another bar at Sly Fox, where I know the bartenders and I know like the security guards, and they wouldn't let Crystal in because Crystal was like screaming at me outside of Sly Fox. And then she was sitting on the ground crying and like, just like, we kid about this. Well, like, I was like, you can only get so much like verbally attacked before you're like, I'm done. And I ended up getting in a car, like going to like the parking garage where they parked. My phone had died, so I couldn't get an Uber. And I just went up to a random stranger and I was like, are you going to the Altamont side of things? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, do you mind driving me? And I'll, I can charge my phone in your car and I'll cash app you. And so he ends up doing that. And I get home, and then I'm getting calls from Christian. And Christian's like, Crystal's missing. I don't know where she is. And I'm like, okay, like, what happened? He's like, she just took the car, like, and I'm like, okay, like, he's like, can you come pick me up so we can go try finding her? And I'm like looking, because we used to share location, so I'm like looking for her location, and I can't find it. And so I go and pick him up, and when I pick him up, he has her tablet. And then he's telling me that he just found messages between her and this guy that's like at the local gym up here, where Crystal was basically, she says she's never met him, anything like that. Like, they've met at the gym, but it was emotional cheating. Like, she would text him and be like, oh, I miss you. Why didn't you say hi to me at the gym today? Things like that. And then find out her mom moved into the unit behind me, but she had parked her car very like back to where you couldn't see it. So we go to the door because Christian wants to talk to her. And, you know, at this point I feel horrible because I'm like, I hate cheaters. And I didn't know what Christian had done yet because the May incident hadn't happened. And so her mom comes out and just starts screaming, and she's like, and this is why you don't have your children, Kandice, because you're a coke addict. Because Crystal went to her mom and spewed this narrative that Christian and me, we were in the bathrooms doing cocaine. And I was like, Crystal, like, you know that I didn't. That was your husband. And then at that time, I had her laptop because I was doing her OnlyFans messaging. And I was like, I will have a conversation with you tomorrow. I can give you your laptop back then. Like, we can have a civil fucking conversation like adults because this is out of hand. And instead, she contacted the cops and told the cops that I was trying to steal her laptop. Mind you, I don't need a laptop. I don't even use a laptop. And yeah, so like cops came and everything, and she's like, well, I figured you were gonna break it and this and that. And it's like, no, like, I specifically told you I would give it to you tomorrow. You're drunk. Like a conversation needs to be had like adults, but her habit of doing things is having it go to the fucking extreme and then never talk to me again. Brat. And that's what she did basically on Monday. Is I get that text message from Christian, and she doesn't say a word to me, doesn't message me and go, hey, I'm sorry, you know, like, could have come from her. It's the best conversation would have come from her. Yeah. And it's like, I was with your child yesterday, shorts and a tank top, all of my tattoos showing. That wasn't a problem. And so it was, I come in, I do like the dishes, I do the laundry and things. Why is your energy off? Like, going off on me. And then we did some errands, and then we were supposed to, again, go to her massage. And she's like, can we drive your car? And I'm like, yeah, we can drive my car. Like, that's fine. So I'm getting out of her car to go into my car to heat, like, to put air, like, make it cool because it's fucking 90. It was like 98 degrees. And she doesn't tell me, oh, I want to eat or, you know, take a minute. Like, because had she done that, I would have gone into the house with her. And I just assumed she was grabbing her Target bag because she had to do a return. And she comes to the car side door and opens it, and her Celsius spills. And she's like, wait for the help, girl. And I was like, what? I'm sorry. Like, I thought you were just grabbing, like, a bag. And she's like, I haven't eaten yet. I'm starved. Like, you've never just gotten out of my car. Like, she was sitting in her car texting. And I'm like, it's 9:53. It takes 40 minutes to get to get over back to my side of town where your massage is. Like, and who knows if there's traffic. So, and then she just went off, screamed in my face. Huh?
She is such a brat.
Well, she ends up screaming in my face and goes, if he doesn't like fucking devil tattoos, then you have to respect that. Like, I told him I didn't have a problem with that, and that if he needs to talk, like, he needs to go to you. Like, no, he doesn't need to go to me. You not only are my friend, but in this situation, you are my employer. So it should have come from you because you've made the remarks before. Christian asked me, why do I pay you so much and this and that? And I've told him it's not any of his business, but now it is. Now it is his business.
Christian's just a douche. Like,
their whole relationship is just fake and a facade. And Christian doesn't have friends. Like, they don't do anything. Like, a friendship to me, it's like, if I'm like, hey, like, let's go out. Like, let's go see a movie. Let's go get dinner or something. But it's Kandice is boy crazy. She's just going to want to look at guys. She's like this and that. And it's like, no, I want to actually spend time with my best friend, my sister. Like, that's what I want to do. And I've allowed Crystal to, like, smear my name. She smeared my name and tried saying that Sammy, because after that January incident went and tried saying that Sammy was talking about me, saying that all I do is cocaine and I'm always looking like I'm on drugs and stuff like that. Like, it's like she will put other people down to where it makes herself look good. And it's, again, where everyone's like, well, are you afraid of the backlash? The backlash of her is what, I mean, we're on the same phone plan. She's going to turn my phone off after, mind you, here's the funny kicker with that one, is all last year, I would pay her on the 23rd of every month, $130 or whatever it was, like when she would give me the tally, I'd send her the money. She wrote off my phone on her taxes. So she was like banking money in from me.
that's fucked.
So.
Getting back what you've paid on tax. Like, that is so shitful.
So I'm like, if you're going to sit there and you're going to, whatever, try to burn me, in her words, like, and that's like, you can just already tell with that comment where you're just like, do you just know what type of person she is? Like,
Oh, yeah. But she's just a shit stirrer. Like, that was the other thing we talked about was Matt and Holly, when Matt was having the whatever relations it was with Holly's friend. What'd you say his name? Was it Brendan? No.
Anthony.
So, when like Holly, obviously, they had this big cheating scandal. There was Holly was pregnant with their baby that had Turner syndrome. And then they did a GoFundMe because she was leaving her husband because he was apparently cheating with one of her male friends. And then obviously there was a GoFundMe and they broke up. They ended up getting back together. And you did kind of explain their weird ass relationship. Like how Holly and Matt sort of had this thing where Holly can sleep with whoever she needs to sleep with. And Matt kind of,
So, like, when they had separated briefly, like, due to his, like, I guess, like, his arrest, Crystal, it was, like, sad because, like, Crystal and Christian would allow Holly over at the house, but it was, like, they made it come across as, like, they wanted to